Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. I got I got myself some new toys. I know Chris will love this one. My Harbor Freight vacuum. Um, I went for years now. I've been wanting a proper miter saw stand setup. I went and bought a vacuum many years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago. I think pre-pandemic. It's sitting over here. I probably won't show it. It's a VacMaster. I have a VacMaster vacuum for my sanding station. They go on sale every now and then. You can find that brand at like Walmart has it. Busy Beaver here has it. Um, I've found them on sale before very inexpensively. I've done some research. This, I believe, this Bauer brand, this is a Harbor Freight brand. This isn't a real brand. It's all made in the exact same factory. Like this is the same thing, just red. Um, and I've never had a problem with any of those things. I've never had a problem with any of the Harbor Freight stuff I've bought, despite what Chris says. But anyway, so Malia grew up in a house where shop vacs were the like she when she thinks of cleaning, she reaches for a shop vac. I've never reached for a shop vac. Growing up, my dad always preferred push brooms, and I do too. I think shop vacs are a slower way to clean. I can clean faster with a broom than I can a shop vac. So I've never wanted it for that purpose. It's set in this corner unopened for years because it was planned to go on the miter saw station, but I never had the money to do that to fully set it up, but I do now. Not a big deal. I got a new vacuum control switch for that, which this is actually going to go on the sanding station, and the one that's on the sanding station will go on the miter saw. And the reason is this one has an off switch, an on switch. Right now, the sanding station controller, if I want to use the vacuum as a vacuum, I have to unplug it, plug it into something else. There's no switch to control it. This one will let me turn the vacuum on, which is fantastic. So this will get mounted on my sanding station, and then the one that's on the sanding station will go onto the miter saw, which I'm excited about. I'm very excited to have all this stuff. Like I said, I've been. It's been a long time since I've been able to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna have the thing that I want, and I'm gonna have it right now. I can afford it. Why shouldn't I get it? Let's just do it. And so I did that. The rest of this stuff, well, this is a hose, a different hose. This is a workshop brand. I have some of their other stuff. It's a much more versatile, flexible 2-inch hose than what comes on these vacuums, and I prefer that. So this will replace the little the hose that comes on the vacuums. All the hoses, no matter the brand of shop vac that I've ever used, the hoses suck. They're really not good. This one that I bought for the sanding station, I absolutely love this, but it's not the right hose for that application, and it only comes in 10-foot or longer lengths, and I do not need 10 feet. I need like 6 or 7 feet. I think this is a 7-foot branded hose. The nice thing about this one is I can unplug and replug. It's got little connectors that come with it, and you plug it in. I don't need this functionality because this vacuum will literally be for the miter saw and the miter saw only. Long ago when I bought that one, the plan was to collect a collection of vacuum hoses to build some sort of manifold so that I could have it be a dust collector for various tools. Not doing that. I'm just not. I'm going to, if I have a sander now that has its own blower and it's got a dust bag. If I want to ever put a vacuum on it, it'll get its own vacuum. I have the dust collector for the table saw. which I'm now noticing is not attached. I don't know how that happened. That's weird. Uh, so the tools will have their own sort of setup, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy. I'm very happy about that. I'm very very happy. you know, like I was thinking. Um, the other day, my sock drawer was empty. I have 10 pairs of socks, underwear, and undershirts. I wear undershirts. I learned that from my Mexican friends in the military. And I wash laundry every 10 days. That includes my pillow, that includes hand towels in bathrooms, like I do laundry every 10 days. Uh, so anyway, I opened my drawer, and in the bottom of that drawer sat a little black Swiss Army knife. Some of you might remember uh, at one point in time I lost that little black Swiss Army knife. That little black Swiss Army knife was a gift from Chrysler when I was a certified technician, and I carried it for a long time. And at the time that I lost it, it had been in my pocket for like a decade or more. And I did a video about losing it and feeling sad. And 3 or 4 people who watched this channel at that time, um, I don't I don't know that many of them watch anymore, but a few of them, 3 or 4 of those people bought me new Swiss Army knives, specifically the Swiss Army Tinker 2, or it's a specific knife. It has the correct tools on it that I use on a regular basis. And so I saw that knife in the bottom of the drawer, and it made me really think about, I've said this a few times not too long ago, that where my life is now versus where it was is so dramatically different. Financially, physically, emotionally, mentally, it's so dramatically different. So to continue the topic about the episodes, this is episode 2009. 2010? Shit, did I miss it? Was yesterday 2009? I think so. I think I screwed this up. 2009 was a horrific year for me. There was a couple of bright spots. My daughter was born. My youngest was born in 2009. My ex went back to school that year and started cheating on me. I have suspicion that there was other years prior to that, but that was when I really learned about it, and that sent me into a very dark and desperate spiral. And I lost a lot of weight. I developed reflux, which I still have to this day. I had to have scopes run to make sure I didn't have ulcers. Like I was a very hot mess that year. I lost my job that year. I had been a mechanic for quite a while, and they fired me. It's the only job I've ever been fired from. They fired me because they failed to give me work for an entire day, and I left. I just was like, I'm done, and I left. And when I came back the next day, they told me to take my toolbox and leave, and I wasn't welcome. So that year was a weird year. I was newly fired, had a new baby, learned about the stuff going on with my ex. I ended up working for a man, a local guy named Aaron. I enjoyed my time with him. We had a small computer shop. We did sign work. I did lots of vinyl graphics. I explored a lot of creative outlets that year. He paid me a day rate, which I think at that time was $100 a day to work for him, and I did various jobs. I enjoyed my time with him. He was definitely different. Still is. But if this is 2010, this was kind of the beginning of my modern version of life. 2010, January of that year, I think it was in 2009. I had a friend who worked at the service agency. I was working there when this all started. It was called Regional Education Service Agency 7, RESA 7. And he said, they're looking for IT people. You should give me your resume. And I thought, man, I've never really been an IT guy. I've been a computer guy my whole life, but I've never been an IT guy. But the idea of having a steady state job sounded fantastic. So I turned in my resume, and I started there in January of 2010. So if this is 2010, that was the start of my new life. My daughter was 1 year old, or turning one. My oldest daughter was turning 5, 7, 2010. She would have been turning 4. Yeah, they're 5 years apart, 1 and 5. So she would have turned 5 in 2010. She would have turned 6. She would have turned 6 in 2010. She was already 5. And I got a job working at a state agency, doing IT work, and that was a very life-changing job for me. It gave me a lot of freedom to explore things that I enjoyed doing, because my job was to drive to schools and fix computers. I went back to school, I think that year. It might have not been till the following year. I'm pretty sure it was that year, though. I found out that I would get pay raises for having school hours, and I still had a little bit of time left on my GED. I had got out in 2000. Yeah, it had to have been that year. I got out in 2001, so I had like a year and a half left on my GED before it would expire. You have 10 years to use it. So it was going away in 2011. So I had like a year and a half to use it, and I went to school, and I got an associate's degree in that year and a half, in basically 2 years. But I had enough money to pay for the schooling. So I did college at University of Phoenix. I stayed with my ex, obviously, despite everything that happened, and I worked on trying to rebuild myself. In 2010, was it 2010? 2008? I missed 2008. 2008 is when I designed Scallywags. I took a trip. My daughter was 3, 4, 3, 5. She was born in 4, so she was 4 years old. We took a trip to the beach with my parents. My parents took us to Myrtle Beach, and that's when not Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, and I picked up a copy of Treasure Island at the like little library in the hotel. It was like take a book, leave a book kind of thing. I picked up a copy of Treasure Island. Never read it in one day, and designed Scallywags that following day. And yeah, shit. I missed a lot of important things. Whatever. Workshop stuff's happening, life's happening. I'm moving things along. I've got a new blog post that I will come out tomorrow because I didn't write it till today. It's usually meant to go out this morning, but I've been working on the book, so I have been writing. I've been writing my 500 words a day. I have not written yet today for the book, but I have a little over 1,500 words, so I'm sticking, I'm at least getting 500 a day in. I hope to have some bigger days. I think I will. I think the book is coming along well. I'm happy with the progress. So, lots is going on, but there's so much change that's happened, financially especially. There's so many things that I've been through, and it's been almost 8 years. You've been through a lot of this with me, so it's hard to sit and reflect on some of that stuff, but it's good, It's real good. Okay, I'm gonna get sappy. So thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is tendentious, an adjective meaning describes statements or actions designed to promote one's beliefs or point of view. Laura is tendentious in her efforts to prove that she believes that a plenitude of fine jewelry is the key to happiness. Tendentious. Tendentious. That's a weird word. Tendency, tendentious. Described state assigned to promote one's beliefs. I've never heard of tendentious statements.